All right, welcome everybody to the Lions Pride Sports broadcast. And it's been since 1997 since the Luling Eagles and the Lockhart Lions faced each other on the football field. Of course, this is not going to be a 11-on-11 as Lockhart is in 5A Division 2 while Luling is in 3A Division 1. But today we're going to have a special broadcast. It's going to be a 7-on-7 scrimmage between Lockhart and Luling. And we're here at Luling Stadium. Of course, my name is Emilio Sarge-Watt. Is going to try and bring you all the play-by-play as much as possible. Of course, they're not going to have numbers on their shirts. And looks like they might not have shirts at all for Lockhart. Shirts versus skins.
Yeah, shirts versus skins.
Yeah.
Here.
And as you can hear, the man to my left is going to be the coach, Amado Galvez, of course, the football analyst for the Lions Pride Sports broadcast for Friday Night Football for the Lockhart Lions. Welcome, Coach. Of course, we had a great show last night with the 25-year reunion for 1997 as we showcased the 1996 highlight film for the Lockhart Lions. Of course, part of that film was taken here at Luling Eagle Stadium back when it was grass field.
There was a game against Luling.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a tremendous, man, I really enjoyed that, Sarge, last night. We had a good turnout. I think Sarge, we had 800 viewers.
Close to 800 viewership numbers.
Yeah, so
and that's outstanding for for a non-sports broadcast.
Yes, and it was. I'm sure there was more than the class of 97, 97.
Yeah.
More of the probably the parents and spouses that turned in to watch the game. Also, it was a good time with Robert Cuellar. Thank you, Robert, for providing the DVD to show.
Oh yeah.
But we're here tonight in Luling, Texas, and what a great host we had, Coach Nate Langford. Man.
Oh yes.
Awesome. He just came up here and threw the red carpet out for us and said, "Is that for us?" Yeah, yes, sir. So
I like to think of it more as a maroon carpet.
yeah. And the first thing he did was turn on the air conditioning. They said, "Oh, thank you so
yes.
much." Yeah. So it was great to meet him, and man, he's doing an awesome job here in Luling, Texas, and wish him all the luck in the world. And Luling, like what they did, like 3 years without winning the game.
Yes.
And last year,
3 years, 30 games.
His first year here, he makes the playoffs. So what do you? I mean, what more? I can. Wow.
Yeah,
I mean,
wins 2 games.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And one of the games they lost was a 6-2 affair.
Yes.
So, as looks like Luling's going to have the ball first to start things off. Of course, it's going to be 7-on-7. Different rules in this, and Coach could elaborate with this. It's going to be a little different schedule set up for today.
Different schedule. Usually we go. You have to get a first down. If not, the ball goes over. You get 3 downs to get a first down. But Coach Langford went over. They're going to go over different rules for tonight's game. As you notice, there is no officials, and there's a deep pass and incomplete. Good coverage back there. I'm sorry we do not have a roster for Lockhart because they have a game tomorrow, and they got to save their jerseys for tomorrow's game. And since this is just a practice game, that's why they decided not to wear the jerseys, and they're going shirtless.
Oh yeah, it's good to be out here and broadcast this little scrimmage. Of course, people think, oh, it's just a scrimmage, but this is Lockhart versus Luling.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's been since 1997, and not only that, it's a big jump. It's a big jump for Luling to be able to test their skills against a 5A school, as they're going to be looking to win some more ball games coming up this year.
Yes. I didn't mean to interrupt there, Sarge, but as you notice right there, the guy standing in the back, that's the head official, and you have 3 seconds to get the ball off. After 3 seconds, he blows the whistle and the play's over, and you lose that down. A little different than regular football.
Yes.
Since there is no pass rush.
And, of course, here in a little bit, we're going to be joined by the voice of Luling Eagle Sports. I could see him walking right now.
Yeah. He's on his way.
He's on his way up. And, of course, right next to us is Brad Wright and Greg Tracy, also the broadcast crew for the Luling Eagle Sports broadcast. Done a fantastic job the last couple of years calling football games and basketball games and Luling Eagle Sports.
Incomplete. Okay, that should be 3rd down.
Well,
and Kate, before I forget, Sarge, if there is an interception, the quarterback is not eligible to make the tackle, and neither is the center, the snapper.
And of course, it's really not a tackle. Was it a 2-hand touch?
Yes.
Of course, you don't want to have the physical aspect of the game. Of course, these student athletes still got a season to play, and don't need unnecessary injuries at this point. So this is going to be 4th down for the Luling Eagles. Had a receiver wide open, unable to come up with it. Ball's thrown a little bit behind him. And I'll tell you what, Coach, it's a hot one down there. It was about 105.
And on the turf, it's even hotter, Sarge.
You see Hunter Dunn walking across. Of course, he'll be on the mound for the Lockhart Lions 18 under baseball team, the RBI baseball team, this Wednesday night.
On Wednesday night?
Yeah, it's going to be a doubleheader at Lions Field. And, of course, Lions Pride Sports Broadcast will be there to broadcast both those games. And TD Tom Dunn, also the color commentary for the Lions Pride Sports Broadcast, will be there doing the play-by-play as I'm the coach of the team. So I have to be down there on the field with them. So fresh set of downs for the Eagles. They're going to throw it deep. It's got a receiver just a little bit underthrown.
Good job of the defense there. Good job on the secondary.
I tell you what, that quarterback got a solid arm out there. That one's about 55 yards in the air, and it looked like with ease as well also. Of course, when Eric gets up here, he'll let us know who the quarterback is. And I want a big shout out to Brad Wright. Says Keegan Reiser is a quarterback, as he'll put the headsets on.
Yeah, Brad Wright here filling in for the great Eric Lugo.
All right, welcome to the broadcast, Brad. Of course, you were with us the first year. You and Eric were the three amigos of Luling, as we recall.
Yes, sir.
And now y'all got rid of me and brought in a third amigo in Greg Tracy. But y'all been doing a fantastic job calling football games and basketball games, throughout the season. And I had no doubt when I left that first year to go back to Lockhart and do the whole season of sports that I left Luling Eagle Sports Broadcast in great, capable hands, and y'all have done an outstanding job. And at broadcasting Luling Eagle Sports football, one of the biggest things I wanted to be there was on the mic when Luling won the game.
Right.
And y'all had that great opportunity last year, not just win one game, but win a second game and go into the playoffs.
Yeah, and both the wins were here at home, so unfortunately I was on the PA mic for those, but it was a great atmosphere, and Sarge, we got to thank you for all you've done for helping us get started with the Eagle Sports broadcast and continuing to help us as we run into our technical difficulties here and there. You've always been willing to help us out, and we definitely appreciate you.
Always. I feel like it's one of my babies, and I gotta take care of y'all. I'm not saying that y'all are babies or nothing, but I take pride in Luling Eagle Sports Broadcast just as much as I take pride in Lions Pride Sports Broadcast. As Lockhart is on the field, of course, we got it's going to be the junior next year, Ashton Dickens, who started off as a sophomore last year, and came short about 250 to 300 yards passing, shy of the school record, which is still held by Coach Howard Thompson from 1971. Am I correct, Coach?
Yes, sir. You're correct. I'd just like to mention that I also had the honor of working with these guys, doing a couple of broadcasts with them last year, and they do a tremendous job. Sarge.
Yes. And you know what? One thing that I liked about Luling, the fan base, and we talked about that first year, is despite the losing streak, these fans stayed from beginning to end.
Oh,
and that was amazing to watch. There was nobody getting up with their heads down, leaving early.
Great fan support. Wow. I'd like to mention Ashley Dickens just came back from quarterback camp at SMU. He had a great time, and apparently he got some very good instructions over there, as you can see tonight. I'm sure his mom's very proud of him. Alexis. Hope you enjoying the program, Alexis.
Oh, if she is here, you'll be able to pick her up on the crowd mic. Big fan of Lockhart Lions football.
I think even if she's in Lockhart, you can hear her.
Yeah. Now, as Lockhart still stays on the offensive side of things, Brad, talk about what Coach Langford's done for Luling Eagles, not just the football team, but around the community as well.
Oh,
it seems like he's a fan favorite and a very loved guy in the community of Luling.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's just an energy level we hadn't seen in quite a while that he's bought into like you said, not just the program, but just the whole community. Everybody's, I think, is buying in. Like you said, they're supporting these kids. And all the sports they do and everything they do.
Yes.
You know, academics, 4-H, whatever it may be. But he just he's brought us to that next level, and it's exciting to see what could be in store for the Eagles over the next few years. Hopefully, we're able to keep him and his the core of his staff here with us for a while.
One thing I noticed, Brad, is whenever you have a successful program that's getting going, getting started, he had no trouble hiring coaches.
Right.
And some of the other schools in the area are still struggling trying to find coaches and teachers. And Nate had no problems filling in some of the staff. And also, I hear there's a lot of kids in the area that said, hey, Luling looks pretty good. I may just transfer it over there. You know?
All right. And, you know, also what we're seeing is he's bringing back some of these Luling alumni to come back and coach. You know, they may not be in the head coaching roles yet, but he's giving them a chance to come in and learn and build that resume up to get them success. So, you know, he's not just about the current kids. He's about the kids who were here even before he was here.
Yes. And that's a big thing to do right there, because you bring back the rich tradition, you know, of players in the past, to bring them up and talk to the younger kids that are coming up. And you know, it's great to see what Coach Langford's been doing, and you know, it's the talk of the town when Coach Langford got here was getting the Luling community back together when it comes to Luling sports. And they did that in a big way. 2 wins last year, playoff. And, of course, things didn't work out in the playoffs. As I believe y'all played against Poth, who's
Poteet.
Yeah, Poteet.
They had that stud running back.
Yes.
I believe he led state all classifications in rushing. And the Eagle defense actually did a pretty solid job against him. I think held him for just over 100 yards, where he was averaging about 250 a game.
Big step forward right there against a very tough running back. You know, big things are coming for Luling. And Coach Langford, he was just up here, and you know, just his demeanor, the way he's up here, he's excited. He's ready for this next season to start up, and looking forward to more success for the Luling Eagles.
Brad, was it the Luling Eagle defense voted by Texas Football Magazine as one of the most improved defenses in the state of Texas?
Yes, I believe they were. I think we went from giving up somewhere around like 37, 38 points a game down to just about 15 this last season.
Wow.
So
And you know, that's difference. A big improvement.
And Langford being a defensive guy, that's his baby there. You know, being former defensive end for the Texas State Bobcats.
Yeah.
So
he was the defensive coordinator at Seguin before he came over here, before he took the job.
Yeah, and you know, you talk about the 30-plus points per game. That's over a 3-year span right there, pretty much. And
absolutely.
For to knock it down halfway in one season, you know, big kudos to the defense and being named one of the most improved defensive in the state of Texas. Wide open.
Wide open.
I think you may have been out of time on it, but again, that is Keegan Reiser quarterbacking for the Eagles. He quarterbacked us last year. Keegan, I think, was a sophomore this last season. Did a fairly decent job out there. He's a little gun shy, I would say, and I think Coach Langford would agree with that. So if we can get him, you know, through the 7-on-7, kind of getting some confidence in throwing the ball, I think we could see some really good things from him. And kind of word through the grapevine and around town is there's a freshman coming in, quarterback that's, of course, at the 8th grade level last year, that's going to give him a pretty good run for his money in 2 days.
Confidence and competition.
Competition makes everybody better.
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
Exactly.
And that's what I was telling Coach when we started, when the scrimmage started. You know, it's good to see Lockhart and Luling back at it, even if it's just a scrimmage. You know, a lot of people are looking forward to this because, you know, this is an old-time rivalry coming up. And I believe Luling and Lockhart it's the most played games between each other from other rivalries that Lockhart had. Of course, I think Bastrop was one and Taylor was another one, or San Marcos and Taylor. But you know, it's a good step up in competition for Luling to test themselves against a 5A defense, and definitely a big confidence booster heading into the league. You know, into what you call the football season coming up.
I'm sure Brad remembers there was a time there that Lockhart had a hard time beating Luling.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it seemed like, you know, and I may be completely wrong on this. My memory's not as great as it used to be, but it seemed like 1 year Luling would beat Lockhart by a couple of touchdowns, and the next year Lockhart
Right.
returned the favor and beat Luling by a couple of touchdowns. But it was always a good, solid matchup.
Yes, it was. It wasn't a blowout either way.
Right,
It was like
right. And I think even after they quit playing each other regular season, I think they scrimmaged for a couple of years to.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I believe so. Yeah.
Remember
Yeah, 'cause
correctly.
we're talking about the last time Lockhart and Luling played against each other was in 1997, and Lockhart won 30-0. In 96, it was 46-10. In 95, it was Luling 27-6. 94, 28-20 Luling, and so they've had their
Back and
shares of
forth, back
battles.
and forth, yeah.
Yeah. Overall record, Lockhart versus Luling. Lockhart does have the edge, 54-11 and 5. But I'll tell you what, even when they played against each other, it's almost like with Lockhart and Bastrop or Lockhart and San Marcos, you could throw the records out the book because you're in for a dogfight regardless. It doesn't matter what the score at the end of the game says. You know, it could be a blowout or it could be a one-point affair. You're going to know that you were in a dogfight.
Yes, sir. And I think I guess what happened, Lockhart just kind of continued to grow. Luling really
Yes.
didn't.
And
it
we
just-
were
it just got
talking
to be
about
a
that on the
numbers
way
deal.
up here.
You know, and it may even be one of those deals in the future. We could even look at possibly bringing that game back early in the season because it's the junior high levels is where
Yes.
the numbers really start to
Right.
get Eagles there. But
Too much time.
You know, and you know those numbers will
Nehemiah
grow
Murray.
those numbers will grow when you have a coach like Coach Langford that everybody is happy for him being here and they like what he's bringing to Luling, and that'll get more kids involved into the 7th and 8th grade football.
Right.
Then when they come to play in freshman and JV, those numbers are going to only go up higher with the coach like Coach Langford.
And
And,
also getting that little bit of success. You mentioned those couple
Yes.
of wins, getting into the playoffs. Man, success does amazing things for getting kids to come out and play.
Yeah. All right, Lockhart will be back out on the field as Ashton Dickens will be at quarterback. And I believe that's Trey Brown out there, if I'm correct, Coach, with that catch. Of course, Trey Brown broke his wrist last year. I want to say in the second game of the season, and was unable to finish the year off. But he's coming back stronger and better than ever, and he's going to be our defensive guy to look at throughout the season. Of course, that one was out there to Deontay Jackson, which is going to be.
One of the main two guys that
Yeah,
go
one-
to.
So we're going to have two seniors coming out. Coming out the backfield with Sean McKinney and Deontay Jackson playing on the outside. The fastest guy on the team, matter of fact. And like we talked about last night, Coach, we just like the Cowboys had back in their day, we got our big three.
Hopefully they stay healthy. If they do, they'll have a very good season. Injury is such a big part of the Texas high school football.
Quarterback's a good-looking kid. Got nice size to him.
And he's only going to be a junior, too.
I say he's like 6'2", 6'3", Sarge. I
Little
know,
bitty old guy. He still
Yeah.
got to grow.
I know he's taller than
Yeah.
I am, but
Yeah, just a little bit, Coach. And of course, looking at the comments, Alexa Jennings says she is watching.
Alexis is the proud mama of our quarterback.
Oh yeah, very much involved, which is awesome. To be involved with her son and making sure that he gets the training that he needs, and it shows. This guy he's gonna be a freak of nature. And he's only a junior. He still got one more year to play for the Lockhart Lions. And like I said, he was, 250 to 300 yards shy of breaking the all-time record of passing yards in a single season. And that says a lot because, Lockhart really wasn't that much of a passing team for many years. And in his sophomore year, Ashton Dickens just came out the gate running as if he had been behind center for about 10 years playing football. And as for the quarterback situation with Luling, Brad, of course, the first year that I came out here broadcasted, we had I keep forgetting the guy's name. And I like calling his name because he was a tough competitor. His sisters were the twin sisters that played basketball.
Dario
Munoz.
Munoz. Yes.
And he kind of got thrown in there at the quarterback
Right.
position during the season because a lot of injuries were taking place. But as far as Keegan, he's going to be the full-time quarterback unless, of course, he's got the competition coming up. But how's the quarterback situation looking as it was last year compared to to previous years?
I think it's looking a lot better. Also, we got Nicholas Estrada. He was a junior last year. He saw some time in there when Keegan was out with injuries and various little deals. So, like we said, just sheer numbers of athletes that can compete for the spot, kind of making everybody have to improve, have to step up their game. So it'd be really interesting to see what Coach Langford and his staff can come up with there at the quarterback position. It kind of felt like maybe at times that was kind of what kind of held the Eagles back a little bit in some of the games. That would have been interesting to see if we still had Dario back there slinging it around some. But
sometimes having that sophomore quarterback back there hurts you.
It
sometimes
does.
Lack
it was
of
a great
experience.
learning experience, and I give the kid a lot of credit. He stuck in there, and he took some beatings like we saw Dario take a few years
and
back.
Dario took a bunch of beatings, but, man, that guy kept ticking like the Energizer bunny wouldn't last.
I believe that may be Estrada at quarterback now.
The freshman?
No, he'll be a senior this year.
Okay, great. Yeah. Sarge, I'd like to take a minute and remind the folks about tomorrow's 7-on-7 game at Buda Johnson. Lockhart varsity will play at 6:30 against Buda Johnson, and at 7:15 against Wimberley. JV will play at 5 o'clock against Buda Johnson and 5:45 against Wimberley. The freshmen will be play at 5 o'clock against Buda Johnson and 5:45 against Wimberley. So come out and support the Lions tomorrow at Buda Johnson.
Yeah, and like you said, it's free. There's no entry fee. And just go in there, take your probably bring your own chair.
Bring your umbrella.
Yeah, bring an umbrella. We took a tent with us last year.
That's some good competition, too. Buda Johnson and Wimberley, those are two pretty good programs.
Yes, they're
and Buda Johnson is going to be tested big time this year as they move up to 6A. Right. They're going to be joining the district of Westlake, Lake Travis, Dripping Springs. I believe Anderson's going to be in the mix as well also. And that's a murderer's row of district teams right there.
Right. Austin Bowie.
Austin Bowie, yes.
That was Javon Jackson on that catch there for the Eagles. You may remember Stan Zan Jackson.
Yes, that was his younger brother. Okay, okay. I remember when we first started broadcast, he was just a freshman.
Right.
So
he got a little bit of playing time that year as a freshman.
Yeah, towards the end of the season.
Right.
I remember that. Outstanding running back.
Yeah, he'll probably be our main go-to receiver between him and Nehemiah Murray.
Oh, good catch.
Oh, nice throw. Way to keep his feet in bounds. Here we go.
That was defense. That was a pick. That's an interception.
Oh, that was an interception? They had the little flip to it at the end. A great effort to keep his feet in bounds. I forgot it was skins versus shirts. So how y'all looking the new district teams that y'all going to be coming against? I know y'all got some that y'all played before.
Yeah, some old familiar faces coming back with Ingram and Marion coming back in. Of course, Lano and Blanco are going to be tough as always.
Yes.
I think I saw Lano's returning 9 on each side of the ball from last year's team, so that's going to be definitely a challenge there.
And Lano made a nice run towards the playoff to the state championship last year.
Yeah, but there's some. Looking at the overall schedule, there's some winnable games in there for the Eagles. I really like the schedule. Kind of some good teams, kind of get you some confidence, hopefully rolling into that tough district schedule. But even in district, I think the Eagles can definitely come away with a playoff spot, a top 4 spot in there. Like I mentioned, Lano having all those kids back. Blanco has pretty good solid quarter. They were mostly juniors, sophomores last year. Marion went, I think, 5-7 last year, made the playoffs, but I think they had like 27.
Good catch.
That's Jackson there on that one-handed snag. But Marion had like 27 seniors on that team last year.
Wow.
For a 3A school, I mean, that's a large bulk of kids.
That's probably about
there.
3/4 of the team.
Then they said Ingram, I think they said they started 8 or 9 freshmen on each side of the ball last year on the varsity level, so they're going to be really young still. So
yeah.
So you know, the Eagles with a little bit of experience coming back that we have, kind of like our chances there.
Hey,
Man, look who strolls in. Eric
I went ahead
Lugo.
and the headset over to Eric.
Yeah.
here.
All right. Hey, good talking to you,
Yeah.
Brad. And, keep up the great work
Thank
on the Luling Eagle Sports broadcast. And, of course, we'll be keeping an ear out as we have our broadcast as well. And keep an eye on Luling Eagle football. Yeah. Of course, about 25 minutes late, but
we'll take it out of his paycheck.
Hey, some of us-
has it been that long? It looked like you almost forgot how to put the headset on, Eric.
It's been a while, yeah. So, well, I mean, some of us have regular times. You know, we can't just come be where I want to be when I want to be there.
Yeah, it's terrible.
So, guys, good to have y'all here.
Oh, yeah. Welcome, Eric Lugo, the voice of Luling Eagle Sports, and on the Luling Eagle Sports broadcast. And, great to have you here. And we had a nice chat with Brad over here. And not a winning season that y'all had, but you know what? With 2 wins after going 30 straight games without a victory, 2 wins is a winning season for the Luling Eagles.
Oh, absolutely, yes. Yeah.
And, we talked with Brad, but, talk about the excitement that Coach Langford has brought. To
Oh,
Luling.
absolutely. I mean, you can just see it. You guys are here. That's evidence of it right there. I mean, we didn't have anything like this. We never had anything like this in any of the coaches. And I've been working with the football program for quite a while now, several years. And, whether it was being a statistician or whatever. And, we've never had the level of excitement that we have now, and then, just the fact that these kids are just out here working, kind of like Coach Langford always says, if you're not working, if you're not practicing, you're not doing these kind of things that they're doing right now, you're not getting better. So, and that's true. I mean, it's very true because our cross-country team, you guys know how successful and the 2010s our cross-country team was. And, and that was there, at the time Coach Mike Barnett was here, and that was his motto is like, there is no day off. You're always doing something. You're always, working out. You're always, getting better, trying to get better, as Coach Langford puts it. So, that's the kind of mentality you have to have, really, if you want to be successful, is not to have any kind of days off.
Right.
You got to always be doing, whether you're actually out there like they are today on the field, or if it's just where, they're just kind of doing mental reps or whatever. But, they always got to be, doing, just always trying to, take that next step, get on that next level.
Participate in something.
Yes, sir. And two, our we're going to have a new district kind of like y'all there in Lockhart.
Yeah.
And so, we're still going to have Llano and Blanco in our district. And then we picked up, let me think for a minute. It's been a little while. Ingram Moore.
Yeah.
And then Randolph, Cole, and there was one other team. Marion's the other one. Yes,
There you go.
Thank you, Brad. So Brad's in the other in the booth over next to us. Yeah, where in this normal spot where he's normally at. I know Coach Galvez knows well, doing the announcing for the Luling Eagles, mighty Luling Eagles. We're a lot of excitement here. We're of course the teams that got left in with us are going to be tough.
Yeah.
They were last year, and they're going to be tough again this year. And then, our understanding that Marion had a lot of seniors that they lost, and so they're not going to be maybe as strong as they have been in years past. And then, we probably should have beaten Cole last year at their place. It looked like on a 4th down play, the receiver caught the ball out of bounds in the end zone, kind of on this right side. But apparently the referee did not feel that way, and he said he was inbounds. So they ended up winning that game. If I remember, it was 18-13.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And that was another close game. It was 6-2. I believe it was the first game of the year.
Yeah, right. It was
Yeah.
when we went to Alamo Stadium, Brockpile, as we call it. A lot of people call it, I guess.
Yeah.
So and so we I think that first game, it kind of showed between the first game and the last game, Sarge, you could see the improvement, because that first game we kind of struggled to move the ball. It seemed like, and I'm sure Brad would agree with that. But as we moved on later on in the season, we got to where we didn't have as much issue with that as,
Yeah,
it had before.
Yeah, as Coach mentioned with Brad, the Luling defense was named one of the best most improved defense in the
Right.
state of Texas by Dave
Exactly.
Campbell.
Right.
And as we all know, Dave Campbell is the Bible of Texas high school football.
Exactly. Yeah, we should be seeing the new issue coming out pretty soon. I would
Yeah.
imagine.
Next month.
Next
Yeah.
month, all
So,
right.
yeah.
And I'm pretty sure they're going to have a lot of good things to say about Luling in this upcoming season. Of course, it'll be Coach Langford's second year. And as you mentioned, the season started off kind of slow offensively and, trying to find a groove. And, y'all picked it up pretty quick and picked up an early win. Of course, you ended up winning the last game of the season to
Right.
make it to the playoffs.
Correct.
And I'm pretty sure the buzz around town was, hey, why couldn't we get Langford earlier?
Right, exactly. Yeah, and it's just fortunate that we were able to get him when we did, and then, like I said, you can see, like I said, the fact that you guys are here, that anyone's here, because this 7-on-7 was no one here had ever heard at this level, the smaller school level.
Yeah.
Now you talk about you guys in Lockhart, and then like the in Austin, all the Austin schools,
San Marcos.
and then Lake Travis and all them, Westlake, they grew up on 7-on-7. 7-on-7 is like a way of life for them now. But it's just something that I hope that, in seeing this today, I'm hoping that means, and I know it does, because when I talked to Coach Langford last year when he first got here, I asked him, I said, well, what is your plan for the future? And, as far as like doing 7-on-7 and that kind of thing, because I was aware of it. I've seen it in other places. I just had never seen it here. And, he said, well, this year's, I got here too late to do it this year. I don't want to rush
Right.
the kids and get them, into a situation that they don't feel comfortable, with.
He was also still trying to hire coaches.
Exactly, that also. So, he said, when I talked to him and asked him, well, what about next year? He said, oh, yeah, absolutely, we're going to do, whether we do 7-on-7 or whatever we do, we're going to do something, next year. So he can count on that. And, that's one thing I can honestly say, Coach Galvez, is that everything that Coach Langford has said since he's gotten here, everything he ever told me, I'm not sure about Brad, but, anything I've ever asked him, he said, I'm going to do this, 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 and this. And everything that he said, he's done. One of the things he said, like I said, we're going to do some kind of 7-on-7. Well, obviously, y'all were here today, so you can see that that's occurring.
And this could be something that Coach Langford could look into and look at the other 3A schools or 4A schools in the area and be like, hey, let's get our own 7-on-7 thing going, because, like you said, it's mostly, if you look around, it's a 5A on up type of thing.
I know one thing he talked about for doing for next year, because I asked him, because we have freshman JV also playing 7-on-7, and he said next year we'll have freshman JV doing 7-on-7, that would be a tremendous help for the program.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, I agree. And then I'm assuming these are, because I didn't ask y'all ahead, these are varsity
Yes.
Yes.
out here? Okay. So, yeah. So I know you guys got some pretty good athletes there in Lockhart on your varsity team there.
Oh, and
then-
taking a look at one right now with Ashton Dickens in the backfield as a quarterback, the signal caller for the Lions. Of course, he's going to be a junior this year and started off as a starting quarterback as a sophomore.
But I'll tell you what, guys. One, I'm going to say it's beautiful to see you guys, both of y'all here. And then also just Lockhart in general, because that's one of the things we've talked to Coach Langford about too, is bringing back these rivalries that we should be having. For whatever reason they went away. First we had the rivalry with Lockhart,
Yes.
and then for a lot of years, and then of course I think you showed last night. I saw on your Facebook page
The highlight film?
the highlights for the '96. I think one of those games was against Luling. if
Yeah,
I'm
it
not
was.
mistaken. Yeah.
Actually, it was here at Luling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and my brother was on that team. He was a senior on that team, and so I know that we had talked about, and hopefully it'll happen down the road. I know you had talked about maybe on your end getting Rene Rios. I know he's one of the players on that on your team, on the Lockhart team.
Mm-hmm.
And then my brother, like I said, his name is DJ. We call him DJ. Derek is his name. He played for the Luling Eagles at that time. So I like to maybe sometime I know when the pandemic happened, we tried to make it happen and it didn't come together. But maybe sometime in these summer months where it's kind of slow and we're trying to find things to kind of air on our, and not only on your network but also on our network, trying to find some things. And I'd like to in a minute talk a little bit about something I got coming up with on our network.
Yeah, and I was going to do that. I was going to open it up, let you talk about what y'all got going on.
Well, let me go ahead since we're
right,
on
go
that
ahead.
subject. Is the thing, recent thing we're going to do. We kind of try to like what you did, Sarge, there in Lockhart. We kind of try to branch out a little, not just to be like a sports broadcast because that's our primary focus, of course. But we try to be a little bit, we're trying to be, let me say, a little bit community oriented now
Yes.
as well. And to that end, and something I had done last year was I interviewed all the Watermelon Thump Queen candidates at that time. And I'm going to say something that I did not realize the positive response I would get from doing that. I just thought, well, we need something to show, something new. People don't want to just wait till football season, and they would like to maybe see something. Now, it would have been nice if it would have been sports oriented, sports related, but in the summer, there is really no sports going on other than maybe something like this. And so
keep as you keep the community captivated because
Exactly.
they're the ones that they're going to be tuning in and watching the Friday night football games, the basketball games, the baseball games, whatever sport y'all going to be showcasing, broadcasting. It's going to be the community out there, and and that's one of the things that I always like doing is going out, giving back to the community, and and doing good things because in the end the community is what's going to keep you going. Because you're going to want more, you're going to want to give back more to the community, and and Luling being such a small community,
right,
it's very important to get out there as much as possible and use creative freedom,
right.
And that's one thing that I always wanted to do when I was with the other broadcasts. I didn't get a chance to do it, but now with the Alliance Pride Sports broadcast, I'm able to do that, and of course, we've been able to do wrestling events. I've been able to do graduations. We did a Pride High School graduation earlier in the year, and able to do shows here and there and kickoff show, and just like we did the other last night with the 25-year reunion, and showcasing the 1996 Lockhart Lions highlight film, and that's one way to give back to the community because it's important to keep that community strong.
Absolutely. So anyway, we're gonna. Last year we had 8 candidates, and I interviewed. Of course, I did give them all the option of declining if they so chose, but fortunately for us and for everyone, really, that they all accepted. And like I said, Sarge, I got so much positive response from doing that I felt like I could not do it this year. I was like, it's something we got to keep going. People said that they watched those videos that I did, and they used that more than anything in some cases to decide who they were going to vote for Watermelon Queen. Which that says a lot right there. So
Yes, it does.
It's very impactful. I was like, wow. It's the very next thing is just wow, just something like that.
Yeah.
So anyway, so we're going to do that. Of course, we're going to have Coach Langford as well. I already speak with Coach Langford and Coach Robledo, our baseball coach, about joining as well, and so they've agreed to participate, so they're going to be joining in. And I'm trying to get see if I can get a couple of Zoom interviews lined up. I had reached out to one already, but I haven't heard back yet. And then I got another one I need to reach out to still. But and then we're going to be having it at Mom's Front Porch here in Luling. I think it's 409 East Davis, I think is the address. No, it's East Davis Street. I can't remember the number exactly. But anyway, they're our title sponsor for the Luling Eagle Sports broadcast. And so we're going to have it there. Gretchen Moore, the owner, was gracious enough to let me, I guess I should say, because I'm the one that asked, have that spot. And she said, yeah, I'll absolutely come. Y'all come in here. I'll stay open late. And I'm assuming, I need to double check with her, but I'm assuming she's going to be selling, it's going to be doing business
right.
while we're having the show. So I'm hoping that's the case. And then, that'd be a wonderful thing. Like you said, for the community, Sarge, it's really good for the community in general. So I'm trying to think. Oh, I did also ask one of the Thump directors, Bubba Damon, to join me too, because he joined me last year. And he kind of talks a little bit about the Watermelon Thump itself. It being the week after that. I'll be doing the show on, I'm sorry, I guess I should have said that earlier, June 17th, on Friday, June 17th. Probably be starting up around 6:30, 7 o'clock in the evening. So just be looking, those of y'all that are interested, be looking on the Luling Eagle Sports broadcast page, and you'll see it. I'm going to be doing the interviews on YouTube. That's how I did it last year. But what I ended up doing is sharing the interviews to our page, and then I shared them with the candidates because most of them, I'm friends with them on Facebook, so I share it with them as well. And then, and then they can pass it on to whoever they want to pass it on to that they feel might help them, in their campaign. So, like I said, it just worked out really, really well last year. I mean, I just couldn't believe how well it worked out. And then I got the positive feedback which made it even more, of thing that I was like, well, yeah, I said because you know, and I'm sure in your case too, Sarge, you're aware. You have costs that go with the production of doing the broadcast, and so I mean the costs in our case, and I'm sure probably in your case as well, they don't stop just because there's no sports going on. Summer's coming around. Okay, well we still want our money. So we can't really help that, but we're trying to do things, and then let me go ahead and talk about too that we are trying. I know Brad and Greg and I have met, and we probably will be meeting before we do that show that day. I've talked to them about it already. We're going to try to make some improvements to next year's broadcast. We're going to try to do some things. Brad's kicking around some things. He's been kicking around some things at his house that we're going to kind of like to try. So we're going to see how everything works out. We really don't know for sure, but but that's one thing about us. Greg and Brad and I, we work as a team, and we any decision we make, it's a group decision. Sometimes I get outvoted, sometimes Brad gets outvoted. But it's always there's three of us.
Yeah.
So no one's ever gonna. It's never gonna be a tie. It's either gonna be two one way and one or the other, or all three of us will agree unanimously on whatever. So that's the one good thing about having a three man weave, as like we call it, 3-man weave.
Yeah.
So we can always we might not always agree, but we're gonna we'll come to a consensus of some sort.
And I can understand about the improving because just as we do in Lions Pride, we try to improve every year with one show. We try to make the next show better than the last, and it's always for the community and the viewers that are watching. And it's been great that we've been able to do live streaming as well, thanks to the pandemic.
Exactly. And it's just some of those things that, and like my mom always tells me about the job, see, I was able to come straight here from home. I've been working from home pretty much since the pandemic. It's just, like you said, the things that, of course, a lot of the pandemic caused bad things, but there are some things that, some good that came out of it.
Yeah.
And then, one of the things, like you said, was that, and then another thing is that the fact that, I'm able to do my job from home where I don't have to be, especially with this cost of gas these days.
Oh, man.
I guess we don't want to go into that. But anyway, but I'm just thankful, appreciative that my employer lets me continue to do that. So, and so it helps out, too, when we're doing these broadcasts, that I can say, hey, and then, Brad's, of course, he's doing the same thing, and but we're here. If something comes up, something becomes an urgent matter as far as the broadcast is, is concerned. Well, one of us is here, to take care of it. So of course, in Greg's case, he doesn't. He's not working from home like we are. He's got a job where he works away from home, but he's still here in town. So he tries to do what he can. As far as but Brad and I try to kind of take care of most of it, and then Greg just kind of pitches in where he can. So.
Coach, if I'm correct, that was Ashton Dickens with the reception there.
I'm sorry. Sarge, they made a switch at quarterback the last series. The beginning of this series, I put Ashton at receiver and working a little with the backup quarterback, which is great.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm assuming some of y'all's coaches are here, too? I mean, I'm guessing, right? I'm not sure. I think one out there on the far side there, maybe that's one of y'all.
I think that might be Eric Garcia, the coach of the 7-on-7 varsity group.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Has done a fantastic job. Has been been the coach for varsity for about 3 years, 4 years now, Coach?
I believe 2.
2?
Because the year before we did, because of the epidemic, we didn't have.
That's right.
7-on-7.
So what is he one of the coaches on the football team during the rec? Okay.
The UIO forbids high school coaches to coach the 7-on-7 team.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they can stand on the sidelines and watch, but they cannot do any actual coaching.
Oh, wow.
And right now, of course, it is Lockhart. We tallied up the points. Lockhart 13, Luling 6. But great job by the Luling defense. A big, of course, I don't want to say a big step up in competition because it is 7-on-7. There's nobody blocking.
Right, exactly.
And there's no, there is not a sold-out stadium as it would have been if it was a regular 11-on-11 football game. But, this is just basically, 7 offense against 7 defense. And they've done a great job so far against the Lockhart Lions.
And y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Brad and I've kind of talked about the 7-on-7. He knows way more about it than I do. But every receiver is eligible.
Yes.
That's okay, except for, I guess,
The center.
the center. Yeah. So and there was one position I can't remember which one it was, but okay. But yeah, I mean, this is great, because like I said, Coach Langford said we're going to work. We're going to do what we need to do to get better, and he's told these kids too, the summer workouts. He says, if you're not here, you're not getting better.
Right.
And absolutely correct, Coach. You've done it long enough. That's exactly true. If you're not working, even if you're not actually physically here, if you're at home, you can't just be sitting on your rear end. You got to be actually working, doing some stuff, and just getting better, because then the competition, they're working while you're not, and and then it shows when it comes time to,
Yes, it does.
when the Friday night lights turn on, hey, we'll know who's been working and who's been sitting at home playing them video games or whatever.
Exactly.
Now, you think about it, there's 16 Luling Eagles on the sideline right now. Well, on the sideline and on the field playing. I'm pretty sure a couple of years ago, if they would have had 7-on-7,
No.
they
I don't know. We would have had 7.
Yeah, they've been pulling from Lockhart to fulfill their team, but when you got a coach like Coach Langford coming in with the enthusiasm and the atmosphere that he brings, you get numbers like this, which of course we talked about it earlier. That helps a lot, especially in the junior high level, when you usually have good numbers in 7th and 8th grade, but when they get to the high school level, they start dropping off. And with the success that Coach Langford and the Luling Eagles had last year, winning 2 games and going to the playoffs, those numbers are just going to keep rising as long as there's progress coming along with it. And I'm really excited to see where Luling's going to be taking this in the next couple of years under Coach Langford.
We are too. Because I will say, like I mentioned a little while ago, the district is going to be still a little bit tough. But and when you win one game and you're in anymore, those days are gone. At least for the next 2 years anyway. So we're going to have to really earn our spot. We're going to get into the playoffs. We're going to have to earn the spot that we get in the playoffs. So and then and that's probably a good thing. Really, because if you think about it, you don't want just somebody just to hand you a playoff spot. You like to say
earn
that
it.
you're able to earn it. Yeah. So they're definitely going to have to work for it this year. You don't want to be able to just say, we're not.
All right, Greg, you take care.
That's Jimmy. That's
Oh,
Brad.
Jimmy. I'm sorry, Jimmy. I'm
Brad's
sorry.
Dad. So Greg, I guess couldn't make it. He said he didn't know how late he'd get off work today. So, but when Brad, he was around, so I checked with him, and so and so I guess they're gonna. What are they doing here? I guess,
I believe that was it.
I think that's it.
I think that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
But I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I want to thank Brad for coming on the air as he was holding down your spot, Eric, before you got up here late. But great job by both teams. Is a great workout for Lockhart as they prepare to play 7-on-7 tomorrow afternoon, and even greater workout for the Luling Eagles to get out there and get some snaps in offensively and defensively, play their defensive set against a 5A school. Of course, it's bigger numbers, but. They came out here, did a great job. Ashton Dickens is, he is who they say he is.
Right.
And, of course, it was good to see the Keegan get some snaps out here. Of course, he's going to be fighting for the starting position. Brad was mentioning there's a freshman that's going to be coming in that's going to be giving us some good competition.
Good, actually, that freshman. Yeah.
So it's gonna make for a great competition battle, and whoever takes the spot, Luling's going to have a great quarterback. They're going to have a good quarterback and a tough quarterback, and look forward for a fantastic season. And want to wish y'all guys at Luling Eagle Sports Broadcast and the Luling community, which I really enjoy.
We missed you around here. We really we're glad to have you back. Sorry that you couldn't make it.
Oh yeah. So it was great to come back, especially to Luling, with a brand new stadium.
Let me say too, real quick, Sergeant. For like you said, 7-on-7, and then we've never had it really around here before. We had a pretty good turnout here,
Yeah, exactly.
Used to fans in the stands, so
For a
I
6 o'clock
now,
start.
like y'all said, it wasn't a sellout crowd or a packed crowd, but a Friday Night Lights crowd.
Yeah, but I tell you what, a lot of these fans that are out here, they were around in the 96 season, 97 season when Lockhart and Luling were playing against each other, and coming out here, they probably have children of their own that are out here, scrimmaging, and even if they don't have children out here, I'm pretty sure there was a couple out here that reminisce about the good old days when
Oh yeah.
back 94, 95, 96, 97. And it was great to come back here and be in the booth that y'all call home now. You're the Eagles
Exactly.
Nest.
Right.
So
See, we had our banner back here. I guess it's been
yeah,
taken down. But
I had to take it down.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, it was in your way.
No, but I want to thank y'all for being a great host and letting us come up here. And of course,
Thank you for coming.
Coach Langford was here to open up the door and roll out the maroon carpet for us, and you know,
Exactly. Yeah.
and
great reception.
and I believe we have off dates that our off date. Y'all have a home game, and y'all's off date. We have a home game, so you know maybe we could get together and
Oh yeah, absolutely.
and join forces and come up. If not, I definitely would love to come up here and watch the game when we got an off
Sure,
week. So
sure, I don't think Coach Langford had any problem with that. I know Coach Galvez. He's always welcome too. A lot of times he fills in because Brad has to, like I said, has to announce.
Yeah.
And so if Greg for some reason can't make it, gets ill, whatever, then I've had Coach Galvez. So thanks so much, Coach. I don't know if I've ever thanked you. I probably have lots of times, but I don't think you get tired of hearing it. I hope not. So thanks, for all you do for us too, because you're just a part of us, just like Greg and Brad and I, and even Sarge, you too, Sarge. If it wasn't for you, there would be no Luling Eagles sports broadcast. So
well,
we owe you a lot,
I have to I have to throw you and Brad in there as well, also, because I wouldn't have been able to come up here and do it myself. And with y'all's help, we seen how far y'all have gotten, and like I told Brad, I said, you still call me when y'all need assistance, and I still feel like this is my baby right here too.
Right, exactly.
And I want to take care of y'all and make sure that y'all get going for the community, because it's a great thing to be able to give back to the community by broadcasting every sport that y'all can. And any way I could help, I'm always a phone call away, and I've been a phone call away.
Yes, sir. You sure have.
So,
Yeah,
but
or text or whatever.
yeah, FaceTime or
Yeah, exactly. We've done it all.
Done it all.
Yeah.
So,
but I was going to say too is that we think, like I said, thank you so much for your support. And then like you said, that first year it was great. Of course, we hated to see you leave and go back home to your home, to Lockhart, but we made it. We got on without, and then we have a great support. Oh, that's what I was going to say too, is that we were thanked 3 different occasions at the athletic sports banquet that we just had by different coaches about talking about the broadcast and how much it added to the kids. They loved it, and they would tell their people, everybody they knew about it. And and one in particular, coach, our basketball coach, Ben Coleman, he mentioned how a lot of his players had family that were out of state. Some of them West Coast, some of them East Coast. But they would let the family know. And I think I saw one of them. It was North Carolina, I believe it was, and they were watching. Here people having big old parties.
Yeah.
And, Arizona, somebody had one in Arizona. It's like you said, that's the way LESB and LPSB should be. Yeah. And it just took off.
If you think about it, how many 3A schools have a broadcast team, and not only that, to share with the visiting team, or the opponents, it's a big thing, because then they get to go back and watch it as well. Also, they get to share with their family, and that just expands your viewership when you do something like that, because you're not only giving back to the community of Luling. You give back to the other school as well.
And
also.
then not only that, too, the community members. You mentioned, that so many thank yous. Brad gets them, I get them. Greg gets them. Everywhere we go, thank you for what you do. So that makes us feel good too, because one thing Coach Langford did mention at the banquet is that we don't get paid. And I'm sure you know too. You don't get that big fat check either, but from what you do, but we do it because we love it.
Oh, yes.
Not because we want to get paid for it, or we'd like to. Of course, anybody would like to, but we know
y'all do it for y'all do it for that Eagle pride. We do it for the Lion pride, and today we were able to get together. So that's going to do it for us here from Eagle Stadium, and I want to give a big shout out to the Luling Eagle Sports broadcast crew of Brad Wright, Eric Lugo, the voice of Luling Eagle Sports. And as for Lions Pride Sports broadcast, myself, Emilio Sarge Juarez, and our football analyst, Coach Amado Galvez. I want to remind you, Lions Pride Sports broadcast will be back on the air tomorrow night for a doubleheader of baseball games with the RBI 18U Lockhart Lion baseball squad, as they're going to play a doubleheader against Crockett High School there at Lions Field. If you're not able to make it, you're going to be able to catch all that live action right here on the Lions Pride Sports broadcast Facebook page, or check out our YouTube channel, and you'll be able to catch the game live as well also. But that's going to do it for us here at Eagle Stadium. As for myself, like I always say, you could take the lion out of Lockhart, but you can never take the heart out of Lockhart. Go Lockhart and go Luling Eagles for this upcoming
Thanks,
season.
Sarge.